Welcome aboard the Beseto Express. We'll cover 3 countries: Beijing in China, Seoul in Korea, and Tokyo in Japan. Together we'll explore the culture of Beseto. All aboard the Beseto Express.
The fact that children are the hope of the future is true now and in the past, in the West and the East. In the end of the 17th century, when the West was just beginning to acknowledge children as individual personalities, the East already had forms of education recognizing children as the perfect human being. In the Beseto countries, such traditional children education ideas and Western educational systems have combined into unique forms of children education, preparing for the future. In China, there are many kindergartens that have dormitories that provide room and board to children. Children eat and sleep in the kindergarten and return home only once a week. The kindergarten is not just an educational organization, but a place that takes responsibility of a child's upbringing. Another unique characteristic of kindergartens in China is that most learning is done through games. Physical education, language skills, common knowledge, math, music, and art are educated naturally through various games and play to become future leaders of the socialist nation. In kindergartens of Japan, you can see children wearing the same clothes and hats. This shows the character of Japanese kindergartens laying great importance on collectiveness. Group order and law is emphasized, and obeying elders is also an important subject of education. Through such educational methods, children develop self-restraint, modesty, and thoughts centered around the whole. They learn not to think of one's own wants, but to think for the good of the group. Korea lays importance on the development of children's emotional levels. For this, instead of language classes, various activities are carried out with the objective of naturally developing a child's individuality and special talent at an early age. Through such natural procedures, children are educated into independent personalities with their own individualities and learn to form new ideas and ways of thinking.
Hello, my name is Sunmin Kim and welcome to Beseto Express. Do you remember the very first day you went to school? Children are filled with curiosity, expectations, and even a little bit of fear about newly entering school. Most children go to kindergarten as a preparatory course for entering the elementary school. It's in kindergarten that they are freed from their parents and they get to meet different people and participate in various events. Well, let's go visit the different kindergartens of our 3 Beseto countries.
In China, child education developed into a unique way under the influence of socialism. In the 1950s, the Chinese government calls for liberation of women with the objective of mobilizing a woman labor force. So the government had to take responsibility of the children in place of the mothers who had to do their duties of labor. It was at this time when many nursery schools began to appear, and Chinese-style children's education had their goals as the health and safety of children started to develop. Most children spent more time in nurseries than at home, and in cities, places where children could be left to be fed and sleep even appeared. In general, children of ages 3 to 6 learn to cope with their peers and learn about socialist ideas through various games and plays. But during the 1 year right before entering elementary school, they prepare for school studies through high-level language and math classes.
我们的核心呢，就是要实施保育 和教育相结合的原则，对幼儿呢，实施体质德美诸方面全面的发展，使呢促进其身心的这个和谐的发展。这是国家对幼儿园的工作的一个总的要求，也是呢我们幼儿园全部工作的出发点和归宿。
The unique characteristic of Japanese child education is that they emphasize on collectiveness and order. So, however close their home is located, all children must take the school bus. As such, in Japan, commuting between home and school is also an important part of class. Every morning, children dressed in the same clothes and the same hats line up to get on the buses to get to their kindergarten. A thing to note is that before a child gets on the bus, the mother takes off the child's coat and lets them get on with only their uniforms. This is said to be done in the cold winter as well, in order to grow their children up to be strong. Instead of stressing one's own individualities, children are educated to think of themselves as members of a group, and the Japanese traditional idea of putting the group before the individual is emphasized. Japanese kindergarten education is centered around learning good, basic, everyday living habits: patience, self-restraint, obeying elders, and modesty, with the objective of cultivating communal consciousness. When classes begin, order and control are emphasized. Children obtain various concentrated educational values from lining up to taking turns talking, all under the supervision of teachers. In Korea, there are many private educational organizations of small sizes. School buses are operated, but most children come to school with their mothers separately. Unique individualities of children can be seen from their free dress codes. Korea's children's education focuses on developing one's own individualities and emotions. So even in music class, instead of just learning how to handle different instruments, unique methods are used to develop children's talents, individualities, and emotions.
The kindergartens of Korea, China, and Japan have different facilities and educational systems, but they are similar in a way that is an extension of home education. That's why the subjects taught in these classes are also thought of in importance even by the parents. Therefore, if you look at the educational contents of a country's kindergarten, you can find out the educational thoughts and ideas of that country.
Through various games and play, children relate to their peers and learn to socialize and cooperate as members of a socialist country. Some songs have educational words to them as well. Children develop more interest for class through singing along with the music, and it also trains their language skills through the words of the songs. Such music classes are sometimes done together with drawing classes. Children listen to unique sounds and express their feelings with their own drawings. Through such a process, children develop creativity and methods of expression. As most others, classes that are done by playing, learning letters, are also done through various games in kindergartens of China. Children who yet lack concentration learn how to enjoy studying through such methods of learning. Many are of themes emphasizing China's history, tradition, and morals. So the objective of China's children's education is to help one develop love for the nation and to learn responsibility. Other than these, children also learn reading, writing, ethics, etc., and develop basic abilities in order to grow into great citizens of the socialist country and the leaders of China's next generation. Another unique characteristic of China's children's education is that according to a child's talent or brilliance, various special educations for gifted children is well developed.
在我们的那个教育工作过程中呢，我们更多的是以游戏为主，让游戏贯穿孩子的一日生活当中，是因为游戏是孩子的天性，他是在游戏中才可以学到很多很多的东西。那么，老师可以把许多高深的理论，还有一些。
The idea behind Japan's educational system is that since artistic and physical talents develop the most at a young age, once that time of young age passes, it is hard to develop the child's abilities or talents at a later period. So, other than simple language classes, all other kindergarten classes are based on arts or physical education. Japanese childhood education, which focuses on the arts and sports, has introduced a systematic and concentrated method of education for it. So instead of just games and playing, sports that are needed to be learned at certain ages like swimming are taught by professional instructors. Through such classes, children not only get healthy, but learn social natures as well. Most kindergartens provide lunch or snacks to the children. The typical Japanese group consciousness is educated at this time as well. All children eat the same lunch menu of same shapes and colors. The eating utensils used are also the same for all children. This is to teach children group consciousness, all men are created equal, and to emphasize intimacy among peers. Art is also an important subject of education. It develops the children's imagination and becomes the foundation for achieving their dreams in the future. Various different tools are used for the art classes inside the classrooms. Children choose their one tool of their own choice and get to experience various creations under the supervision of their teacher. In music class, children practice making sounds together by playing in small ensembles. Although they are not perfect, children learn the importance of making sounds together than making sounds alone. Through such methods, children learn for themselves the importance of collectiveness.
私の一応保育の中で気をつけていることっていうのは、今幼児期この幼稚園に通ってくる3歳から6歳までの子どもたちはとても今いろんな能力が比較的飛躍的に伸びる時期だと思うんですね。そういう時期に自分が教育するにあたってやっぱりいろいろな可能性を見出してあげたいというのと、それからそういうのを少しでも伸ばしてこれからいろんな将来に
Korea lays importance on the development of children's emotional levels. Children's education in Korea emphasizes on growing the EQ, or emotional quotient. Korean kindergarten classes do not tilt towards one subject and are not fixed, but focus on the whole development of human knowledge through various experiences in diverse areas. Educational environments are often changed, taking visits to zoos or traditional villages. And through such amusement rides, children can have new experiences. Learning basic everyday habits is emphasized, so children are taught to grow good habits from young ages. As children try cooking, they develop a sense of quantity and also take time to observe the unique characteristics of each cooking ingredient. Such a class not only helps children develop various senses, but it also gives children a sense of confidence that they can go home and help their mothers, which provide a chance for deepening their love and understanding for other members of the family. Through such diverse classes, children enjoyably learn good habits of daily life. Physical education classes in Korea focus on variety and games for a balanced development rather than teaching regulations and order. Professional education needed for this growth and development is carried out.
우리나라는 오래전서부터 아이들에게 가장 필요하다고 생각하는 교육이 전인 발달과 기본 생활 습관 형성이거든요. 전인 발달, 골고루 각 영역에서 골고루 발달이 되지 않고 어느 한 부분만 건강이라든지 언어라든지 이런 한 부분만 발달이 된다면 다른 부분은 자연적으로 뒤처질 수밖에 없는 것이고요. 그래서 그 전인 발달 가운데에서 기본 생활 습관들이 질서라든지 예절이라든지 또 청결, 절제 이러한 모습들이 잘 형성될 수 있도록 그동안 저희가 과거에 이런 교육에 대해서 많이 심려를 기울여 왔고요.
Although all countries have slight differences in their methods, the objective of childhood education is the same for all, respecting children as a full character with infinite possibilities and helping them to maximize that possibility.
Bye-bye. It's been said that the future of a nation is in the eyes of its children. What did you see in the eyes of the children of our 3 Beseto countries? Although they may speak a different language and their educational systems may be different, the twinkling eyes of the children preparing for a bright future is the same in any country. Well, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time on our Beseto Express. Bye-bye.